What's up, Heat Nation? It's your boy Sebastian, and this is the State of the Heat.
Miami Heat are champions of the basketball world.
Elimination.
And the game winner. Couldn't punch it.
And we're back. It's year 2 of State of the Heat. I'm so glad to bring this series back. I did have some fun making these Heat videos last year. I did take the off season off. I was pretty busy. Graduated college. A lot of other stuff, working on a bunch of different individual projects, but who cares about that? Heat basketball is back. And, NBA season tipping off. We tip off October 22nd, which is tomorrow, against Orlando, 7 p.m. Be there. And I'm excited. I wouldn't say excited. I'm apprehensive. I'm kind of bullish on this Heat team. I'm not even going to lie. This team, I don't know. I don't know about it this year. I would preface with this is that, starting the preseason with no wins was definitely a head scratcher. Not winning a single preseason game did not alleviate any of the concerns I had with this team, especially about all the defensive issues we had, not being able to hold leads. All those things kind of bled into this year. The only real change that we made is really Norman Powell, and then Drew Smith is going to come back. So outside of that, this team is genuinely the same, except that we're not starting the season with Tyler Hero. He's injured. So that makes everything a whole lot easier. But my goodness, I would say that going into this season, I'm really on the fence of where this Heat team is really even going to land, because I'm just going to be honest and cut straight to the chase early in this video. I don't think the Heat are going to make the playoffs this year. And a lot of people may hate me for saying this, but this team just, I don't know, there's something off with this roster. There's something off with this team. Maybe I'm sipping too much of the Kool-Aid from the preseason and not seeing any wins kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I think the over-under for the Miami Heat this year in wins is 40. So the fact that Vegas doesn't have us winning, has us not even breaking even on the season, is a little concerning. I would say that I kind of have Miami around that mark. We're a play-in team. We're going to be in the play-in again. Even with a banged-up East, even with Boston and Indiana really knocked out this year, they're basically just going to be probably one of the lower seeds. And I don't know if Tatum's coming back. He's dropping all these videos of him dunking and shooting and dribbling the ball. I don't expect Tatum to come back this season. And if he does, he's probably coming back in April when the season's already over. I'll be very surprised to see if Jason Tatum hurries back on the court. I strongly advise him not to. We do not want to see, him re-aggravate an injury or rush back too quick. In my opinion, the Celtics will be just fine. They're going to take a step back, but after this year, they're not going to be. The East is not in a state where the Celtics or the Pacers should worry about their futures a year from now. And even if, the Magic start to ascend and Paolo takes a next step, or Cleveland finally gets it together with in this gap year, but right now it's really between New York and Cleveland in the East. Everybody else is kind of there's a lot to be desired. And Miami is especially one of those teams, because I feel like some people may say, oh, we could sneak into the top 6 of the East. That's if everything goes right with this team. Already we don't have Tyler Hero. This is already a really bad start, and we haven't even tipped off the season yet. And I'm concerned because last year without Tyler Hero, even though last year he was a net negative player, and I said this last year, and a lot of people jumped on me because I did say this, that Tyler Hero doesn't produce extremely winning results. And yes, we suffered without him on the court, But I feel like this year especially is really make or break for Tyler Hero in Miami. The Heat already are not going to extend him before the season. So I said this since last year. The Heat should not rush into extending Tyler Hero. And we've already seen it in the reports that Miami's loading up cap space, keeping their options open for a big free agency class, and all this jazz. And maybe Tyler Hero is probably going to be kept off the books. So we'll see. But I feel like as Heat fans, we won't know what this team is going to look like until like the All-Star break, in my opinion. Because Tyler Hero missing a chunk of the season to start, and then him probably going to have to ramp up, get back to speed. The season's already started. He's probably going to be slow to get into the season. I would say by All-Star break, as Heat fans will finally kind of see what this team really is made of this year. Last year, I jumped on the gun and said this team is not good. This team hasn't been good, even with Jimmy Butler and even when he did leave. So, like, there's so much to be desired about this Miami team. Like, yes, I'm excited about Kel'el Ware and Bam in the front court and what that can possibly be for our defense. But it's like, we need good point guard play. We need good guard play. Tyler Hero is a great combo guard, but he's mainly a scorer, and he's gotten better at playmaking, but he still turns over the ball, though. And don't even get me started about Terry Rozier. I'm not even going to talk about it. I'm not even going to talk about him. It's not worth mentioning. And then we have Drew Smith, who's going to come back. And Drew Smith is a good player. And he's a great defender, great defensive guard. But it's like, what are we really getting from our guards? And then we have Kasparis, our rookie. It depends how much Spo's going to play him. I know Spo's a lot more favorable with guards, rookie guards, than he is with rookie bigs. We saw how he was treating Ware and Bam in the past, so we'll see how much Kasparis plays in his rookie year. And then we also have the throw into the fold that we might see Jovic play the point guard this year. We might have stretches where he's going to be playing the one. I really hope Spo runs those lineups with Jovic at the point. And we run our bigger lineup sets where Jovic is at the point, Tyler Hero is at the shooting guard position. You got maybe Norman Powell you want to throw it in there as well, and then you got Bam and Kel'el Ware, pretty big lineup. So I really do hope this Norman Powell signing really does, even when Tyler Hero comes back, is really going to be good for this team, because if he's able to replicate what he did in Los Angeles last year, as he was on the cusp of being an all-star, if he brings that production to Miami this year, we will be a decent team. It's just, can the Heat take their play from last year, from the first three quarters? Because the Heat, everybody knows, we were doing pretty good. The Heat can play NBA basketball. It's when the team needs to execute in crunch time is where everything just goes off the rails. Whatever they did that was working in the first three quarters, it's like they forget to play NBA basketball in the fourth quarter. Once I start seeing Miami start to be consistent, start to finish games, complete games, win games, then we can have a discussion about, hey, maybe Miami may slip out of the play-in and be, hey, maybe we could be a top 6 seed. But as everything stands right now, I have Miami either missing the playoffs, either getting knocked out of the play-in, or just getting in the playoffs, playing 8th seed, 7th seed, and then we're playing probably Cleveland or New York in the round 1. Or I've said this in the offseason, and this is kind of a little sidebar here. I believe that Milwaukee's a dark horse right now in the East. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on the Bucks right now. I know they lost Damian Lillard, but the East isn't strong right now. And I feel like Milwaukee can kind of sneak in there and ruffle some feathers this season. I know I didn't talk about Philly, and some people may say, oh, Philly, they still have Maxey, they still have Embiid, they still have Paul George and Embiid, but it's like, and McCain is like, it's too much. It's too much that I need to see it to believe it when it comes to Philly. They have a good roster on paper. It's just like, are we gonna see that roster on the court? That's the real question. That's the same question I have for Miami. It's like, we see the roster. The roster, in my opinion, is to be desired. There's a lot of holes on the Heat. We cut Precious Achua. So, and a part of me believes that he will be back later this season. It depends on what they're doing with Terry Rozier. Is he going to stay on the team? Or are they going to cut him? Or are they going to trade him? But we'll see. But the Heat don't really have a great backup big situation besides, like, unless you're going to start Bam and sit Khalil. And I don't think Coach is going to do that this year. I feel like they had to be in tandem this year for the Heat to be their best. And I know Spo loves this small ball, but the NBA is getting bigger. I don't know if he's seen that Rockets lineup, but NBA is getting taller and taller, and we gotta adjust. Another thing that's been on my mind about this Heat team is, when is Pat Riley finally going to adjust to the modern NBA? I feel like I'm going to make a video about this eventually, but I feel like putting all the eggs in your basket for free agency, I know it's a joke I made. I tweeted this a couple of days ago. I was joking that, oh no, Pat Riley's going to clear cap space again for another try at a big three. And I know that's not going to happen. We all know that's not going to happen. The current CBA will not let that happen. But it's like, what are we going to do with all this cap space? That's the question. If they really tried to clear all these things off the book, you're going to have like Bam and then Khalil and then Jovic and then a bunch of guys on rookie contracts and small two-way deals, and then try to add some stars next to Bam Adebayo if you don't want to build around Hero. I feel like this team is in a state of flux. There's a lot of roster turnover. There's been, we lost Jimmy Butler. We lost Haywood Highsmith. We lost Duncan Robinson. Like, we kind of lost a lot of guys, a lot of key pieces that were in our previous years, previous playoff runs. And it's strange going into this year, but I'm excited, It's Heat basketball. I miss Heat basketball. Even they make my blood boil. They make my blood boil like no other team. Even worse than the Giants. No, I'm not going to say that. You know what? I'm not going to say that. Never mind. But NBA season's back, baby. And I'm excited. Before I end the video, I'm going to give my official Heat record prediction. I'm going to have the Heat at 39 wins and 43 losses going into this year. So I do have the Heat under 40 wins this year. And we're going to be 7-8 seed. 7-8 seed in the East. 7-8. Depends on where the cards fall. But I think listen, that's my record prediction, knowing that Tyler Hero isn't going to start the season, that a lot of things could happen in between now and then. So the next time I will give another record prediction will be, I would say, All-Star break. The next time I'll give a record prediction is how we're going to finish the season at the All-Star break. But we're winning 39 games this year. We're going to be in the play-in again this year. And hopefully they prove me wrong. Hopefully we're a top 6 seed. Hopefully we have a better season than last year. And that's all I could hope for. I want to thank you guys for tuning into the comeback, the first episode of this season, prefacing the Heat season this year. If you want to see more of this content, there's a subscribe button that you can push and you can support the channel. join Heat Nation. And this season, I'm not just doing the Heat podcast. I will be covering NBA. I will be covering across the league as well. So, yes, Heat Nation, I got y'all with my podcast. I got y'all every week. Gonna, give a state of the franchise. See what the heck is going on. The pulse of the fan base. How are we feeling? And gonna give you guys that every week. And then across the league stuff, I'll just, keep my eyes open and then give you guys videos across the league on how I feel about the other teams, how I feel about the West, how I feel about the East, record predictions, standing predictions, all those things, all that juicy stuff. So if you guys want to see that, hit that subscribe button. Let me know what you predict the Heat to finish this year in the comment section. And listen, Heat basketball is back, baby. I can't wait. And let's go Heat, all right?